Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video. So today I'm just going to be doing this Adele inspired makeup look. This is kind of one of her more dramatic looks, if I could say that, because most of her makeup is pretty dramatic just because she always wears false lashes and lots of eyeliner, but this one has a little bit more going on with eyeshadow and stuff. I wanted to do something kind of more intense today. So basically I have nothing on my face right now, and I'm just gonna start and show you actually all of the steps that I'm gonna do, just because she tends to wear, if she wears makeup, she usually wears a lot of makeup versus sometimes she doesn't seem to wear like hardly any, if any. So I just kind of want to start with that, and this is just kind of the idea that I had to do, and you don't have to do this exact way. You can just use a liquid foundation or your mineral foundation or whatever you have. It doesn't have to be like this, but if this is just kind of my idea for it to just, you know, make it look more like hers. So first of all, I'm just going to start with the L'Oreal Studio Secrets primer. It's kind of that pinky primer, and I like it. I mean, I honestly hardly ever use it, but it's pretty nice for a primer, I guess. I just don't really use primers personally because I don't notice a huge difference, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to do this. I keep trying to give it another try and see if it works, but I can never notice enough to really do it justice. But anyway, it's my spiel on primers. So just putting this all over my face. Okay, now I'm going to use two foundation colors. This is an interesting step which I saw someone do. I don't remember who it was, but I saw it somewhere. I'm using the Maybelline Dream Smooth Mousse foundation because it's very kind of high coverage and cool looking like that. I'm using the colors Porcelain Ivory and Classic Ivory. Porcelain obviously is lighter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with that lighter one. I'm just taking a nice wedge sponge. You could get it damp if you want, but I just didn't want to take the time to go do it. Plus it doesn't really, I mean, I don't really need to make it damp. Let me grab a mirror so I can see what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is start in the center of the face with the lighter color, and then I'm going to do the darker color on the outer edges. That's just going to give you that real, like, kind of contoured look, which she tends to have a lot. So I'm just going to start with this lighter color, which actually seems to match my skin tone pretty well, so I guess that's good. And you can pat, you can brush, whatever. It's pretty, it's just, it's a nice high coverage thing. I wouldn't really recommend this because it doesn't last all day, but if you're wanting something to kind of just, you know, have a cool look, it works good for that. And kind of bring it on top of the cheekbones as well, because you want it to be lighter up there. So just kind of, just if you picture kind of the contours of the face, and if there was a light shining on you from like right up here, kind of where that light would fall and where the shadows would be, and kind of leave the shadows, the shadowy areas blank, and we'll put the darker color in there. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So now I'm going to go in with a darker color. And I'm going to take that on the outer edges and the contour areas, like I said. Pretty much like I said. I'm taking it right under the cheekbone and just going like almost straight down with it. Well, straight down. Okay, so I think that's pretty much good for the foundation. Once again, I'm sorry it's washed out as in a lot of my videos. It's just, yeah, the lighting's bad. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and add some concealer. This is just kind of the same that you would do any day. Just add some concealer. Probably the heavier the better. You know, as full coverage as you can get, and so your skin is looking as porcelain doll-ish as possible. So I'll do that, add just some pressed powder, translucent pressed powder, and then I will start with the eyes. Okay, so I applied the concealer. I also went ahead and did the eyelid primer. So I started with the Too Faced Shadow Insurance on my whole eyelid and then also underneath the eye. And then on top of that, I put some of the NYX Jumbo eyeshadow pencil in Milk, which is the white one. And if you have one that's kind of more of a pinky gold color, like a lighter color, that'll actually probably work the best, but I don't, so I'll use that. And I'm gonna just use an eyeshadow on top of that. Okay, so starting with the eyes, I'm going to start with this eyeshadow color from Milani. It's called Illusion. I don't think they make it anymore, but it's just a nice peachy gold pink color. And just a fluffy eyeshadow brush to pick that up with. So this is going to be my base color. And like I said, if you have a eyeshadow base, you could use like a MAC paint pot, or you could use the NYX Jumbo pencils, something like that that's pink. You don't have to do this step, but since I had white, that's what I'm going to do. So this stuff actually does tend to crease a little bit, so just make sure that you're aware of that and watching out for it. Once I put the shadow on, it helps not to crease. So I'm just going to lightly apply that all over the lid, all the way up. This is just our base. Okay, alright, so once we've got that, I'm going to use my Bare Essentials Ready eyeshadow palette. This is the Quad and it's called The Truth. I've used this before, but the colors seem to be really good for this look. So I'm going to go for this top really light one and then the one right under it. I'm going to be using those two for this look. Okay, so taking that light beige color, I'm just going to apply that on my eyelid right now, but we're going to use it as highlight later. So just press that right on your lid. You want to get as much on there as possible. And then take some in the tear duct. Okay, so now for the crease color, I'm taking a nice dense tapered brush, and I'm going to pick up that darker brown like I showed you. And this is definitely a defined crease, so don't yell at me for not blending it out, because it's not blended very well, very much. It's just the style of it. So just going to put that right in there. Let me just look at the picture so make sure I do it right. So she brings it out a ways and then just right up into that crease. Be careful not to get it on the lid. You really want to leave that kind of with that light color, at least on that middle part. You can put some on kind of the outer crease or outer corner. So just be really gentle to get it as even as possible. You can actually go ahead and bring it in a little bit to the inner part of the nose. Just kind of defines that a little bit. Maybe not that far. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to take some more. So we can just add to it, kind of build it up a bit. Okay, so that's pretty much how I'm going to do it. I might touch it up a bit once I do the other side, but then I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I did the other side, and then I kind of went in with my brush with a little bit left on it and kind of just blended it right on that inner part there. So just kind of like that, just right under that first chunk of your eyebrows. Okay, so then I'm going to take the highlight color again, just with a different brush. And then just take that right at the highest arch of your eyebrow. And be careful not to blend it into that color, because we want to leave that defined. Okay, so for the eyeliner, I'm actually going to be using the Bobbi Brown gel eyeliner and just an angled eyeliner brush. I started with a pencil, but I didn't like how it looked, so we're going to use this instead. So just taking it from that inner part, and we're just going to make a really big looking cat eye, basically. So I kind of already started with that just thin line, but then we're just going to build and make it bigger. Okay, so here's the wing. Okay, you can see as I'm building this out, just trying to make it pointy on the end. If you ever end it. There we go. So that was a pretty big wing, but like I said, with the false eyelashes, you can't really tell if it's liner or lashes that she has going on. So Since I'm not wearing false lashes, I'm just going to do it with the eyeliner. So I'm just going to darken that up. Okay, so that's what I did with the liner, and I'm just going to do that on the other side. But first, let me show you for underneath the eye. Just going to take a black eyeshadow and a sponge tip applicator. And I'm going to smudge that underneath. So pretty thickly. She seems to like the liner underneath. She doesn't usually just keep it. She either keeps it just on the top or she does like a good amount underneath. So make it definitely noticeably thicker on the outer part, and then just thin it as you go in. And I'm using MAC Typographic for this, just a matte black eyeshadow, obviously. Yep, okay. Then I'll do the other side. I will do my eyebrows, and I will use some mascara. Like I said, I'm not using false lashes, so if you have some, definitely put them on. I actually think you could use something like the Adele 111s, which are pretty intense, but they look like they're similar to what she's wearing, so something like that might work good. So then I'll do that, and I will show you the cheeks and the lips. Okay, so the eyes are finished now. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the cheeks. So she basically has like some intense contouring under her cheekbones with some kind of blush on top. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm using MAC Emote blush. Just any kind of bronzer that's not too orange or whatever is fine too. And I'm using a nice angled, kind of a smaller angled blush brush for this. Okay, find your cheekbones and just take it right under them, just kind of in that one little spot, like right here. It's definitely like not an everyday blush look. Don't worry, I'll blend it out. I know it looks like a vampire or something right now. Okay, now wipe off that brush pretty good. And then take a nice kind of, I don't know, rosy dark blush. This is Escentuals Thistle. I'm going to put that on top of the contour. Don't worry, I'll blend it out. I know it's intense. Okay, take your powder brush and blend it. So about like that. It's good. Okay, lips. I'm using a lip liner and lipstick, MAC Subculture, and Maybelline Born With It. Alrighty, so there is the finished Adele inspired makeup look. Yeah, that's what I came up with, and I think it looks pretty similar to it. It's very intense, very dramatic. I definitely would not recommend this just any day, whatever. So yeah, hopefully that helped you out in some way. Let me know if you have any requests at all, and thank you for watching. See you later. Bye.